The Galactic Council Hall was full. Lights from 1,000 stars blinked on the tall ceiling. Alien leaders sat in golden chairs, each from a different world. Lizard people, glowing beings, metal-skinned giants, and many more. At the various back, 5 human leaders stood in chains. Chancellor Dravik of the Zolarians rose to speak. His voice was deep and cold. Today, we vote. Humanity has refused our rule. They are wild, dangerous, and weak. It is time to put chains on them. For the safety of the galaxy, laughter echoed through the hall. One alien, a floating jellyfish creature, said, "Chains. Why not cages? These humans are like animals." Tall, insect-like ambassador added, "Animals with fire. Dangerous toys in dirty hands." The vote began. One by one, alien hands pressed glowing buttons. Green lights for yes, red for no. One by one, green lights filled the board. Earth's leaders stood silent. General Rana, a tough old woman with gray hair, watched the lights. She didn't blink. She didn't beg. Human President Malik leaned closer to her and whispered, "They think we're done?" Rana whispered back, "Let them think that." The final vote was green. "Humans are now property of the Galactic Union," Chancellor Dravik announced. "They will serve. Their planet will be stripped. Their cities will be used. Their culture will be erased." The alien crowd cheered. Some even threw shiny coins in the air. But one being didn't clap. It was a small, silent figure sitting in the corner, cloaked, unknown, hidden. No one saw it leave. No one knew it had been recording everything. 1 week later, Earth's secret. Bass Omega 7 beneath the ice of Antarctica. A group of humans gathered around a glowing table. The walls were made of dark steel. Old computers hummed. Maps of space covered the walls. A tall man in black armor stood at the head of the table. His name was Commander Dax. The council voted. He said. They laughed. "They think we're slaves now." A woman beside him nodded. "They took our cities. They took our skies." Dax raised a hand. "But they didn't take this." He touched the table, and a 3D model appeared, a secret space fleet, hidden deep inside Earth's gravity wells. Sleek, dark, and silent ships. "They think we are weak," Dax continued. "But they don't know what we've been building. They don't know what's sleeping below." Young engineer asked. "Should we attack now?" Dax said. "Not yet. Let them believe they've won. Let them get comfortable. When they forget to be afraid, we strike." Meanwhile, Prison Moon X7 thousands of human prisoners were being forced to mine rare crystals. The guards were brutal. Were fed only once a day. Robots watched from high towers. One young man, Eli, carried heavy tools across sharp rocks. His hands were bleeding. His back ached. A guard hit him with an electric stick. "Faster, ape." Eli fell. He looked up with angry eyes but said nothing. Then, quietly, he looked to the sky. A small flash blinked in orbit, too fast for most to notice, but he smiled. Later that night, in the prison bunkers, he whispered to the other humans, "I saw it. One of ours. It's begun." Back at the council, fear begins on the galactic capital planet. News of small incidents started. Arriving, a Zolarian warship was destroyed by a stealth mine near Saturn. Spaceport exploded on a council world. No warning, no trace. A deep space signal was hacked. A message played. "We do not bow. We do not forget." Some aliens laughed it off. Small tricks, they said. The apes are biting before death. But others were nervous. An alien general from the Revelec species said, "These are not random attacks. This is a plan." Chancellor Dravik shook his head. "They are broken. Let them scream into space." But at night, in his private chamber, he watched the hacked message again. The voice was calm, cold, human, and his hands trembled. End. Scene. Something wakes in the darkest part of Earth's ocean, far below any alien reach. A light flickered. Machine, huge, silent, old, came to life. Its eyes glowed red. Its systems ran checks. Status: Humanity compromised mission. Activate Protocol Vengeance, begin Phase 1. This moon was made for breaking people. Aliens sent their worst prisoners. Here and now, humans filled every cage. Dirty, tired, hungry. Some cried, some screamed, but most were quiet. To quiet guards from the croc species, tall, armored reptiles ruled the camp. They treated humans like bugs. One young boy, Aaron, had been there only 11 days. Guards already hated him. He looks at us like he's not afraid, one hissed. Another said, we'll fix that today. They dragged him to the pit. The pit inside the deep arena stood a war beast, 8 feet tall, covered in fur, with tusks and 4 arms. The Crocs had captured it from a savage world. It had killed 17 prisoners before. Now it was hungry. The guards threw Aaron inside. He fell hard. The beast sniffed the air, growled, took a step forward. The crowd of aliens cheered. But then, something strange happened. Aaron didn't run, didn't scream. He stood still, calm. His eyes didn't blink. The beast walked closer, then stopped. It sniffed again. Aaron slowly reached out his hand. The crowd went silent. The beast lowered its massive head and let him touch it. Gasps, shouts. Some guards even dropped their weapons. Aaron whispered, "You're not the monster." R. Back in the holding area later that night, prisoners whispered the story. The boy tamed the beast, they said. Some thought it was luck. Some thought it was a trick. But one old woman, a former Earth biologist named Dr. Singh, had a different thought. Humans are strange, she said. We adapt. We connect. Even in chains we learn. Alien guards start to worry. The Croc's commanders weren't laughing now. This is not normal, one hissed. He bonded with a war beast in seconds. Another said, what if more humans start doing this? They ordered tests. They tried to beat the boy, starve him, break him. But Aaron stayed silent, and every night, War Beast howled from its cage for him. Far away, Deep Space Listening Post Beta 12, 2 alien engineers worked in silence. Their job was simple. Watch for any human signals. Still nothing, one said, bored. But then, a soft sound came through the speakers. A strange melody, slow, sad. The alien frowned. Is that ... Earth music? The sound grew louder, and a voice. You thought we were gone. You thought chains would break us, but you forgot. We do not break, we build. Then silence. The aliens tried to shut down the signal. But there, screens froze. The message burned across all systems. The chains will turn. Back at the council, fear grows on the Galactic Council homeworld. More reports came in. A group of humans escaped from a mining station using only scrap parts. A Croc's patrol ship exploded in orbit after a malfunction. The only survivors were humans who somehow escaped unharmed. A giant alien factory was shut down by a virus written in an old Earth language. Basic council members met in secret. They are learning faster than expected, one said. Another added, they don't need armies. They're using our own tools. Chancellor Drovik slammed his hand on the table. They're just insects! But someone whispered, then why do you sound afraid? Final scene, a message passed back on prison moon X79. Dr. Singh gave Aaron a small stone. Hold this. When the time comes, she said, it holds a signal code. Aaron looked confused. She smiled. The resistance will hear it. When you're ready, press the center. That night, as the guards slept, and the beast watched the stars from its cage, Aaron held the stone tight and whispered, soon. 3 alien scavengers floated toward the strange wreck. It's human tech, said Rakik, a furry 4-armed pilot. The ship had no name, no ID, just rusted plates and battle scars. It had been drifting for years, maybe decades. They entered. Slowly, lights scanning the hallways. Dust floated like snow. Dead ship muttered Skill, the team's tech expert. But then, the lights flickered, a hum started. Did you hear that? Skill asked. The sound grew soft at first, then sharp. A single red light turned on from the dark corner. A metal shape stepped forward, tall, armored, glowing red eyes. Designation: Ghost Protocol. Enemy detected. It moved faster than anything they had seen. In seconds, the ship went dark again. Outside, the alien cruise ship exploded. Back on the Council homeworld, alarms ring. The news spread fast. Earth drone.
Activates after 17
years, kills 3, destroys salvager vessel. Some council members said it was a fluke. A broken drone, nothing more. But others were not so sure. Counselor Velna, a quiet reptilian, read the old Earth file. Ghost Protocol, self-learning. AI, built to survive. Built to wait. They left it, she whispered. On purpose.
Ass!
Secret facility Eclipse Core, far beneath the Sahara Desert. A team of humans watched from behind metal walls. One man stood in front of a large screen showing the drone's location. He smiled. It worked, said Commander Dax. A scientist beside him said the drone activated on schedule. It uploaded everything: coordinates, enemy maps, council tech. All of it. Dax crossed his arms. Now we begin. Phase 2. Behind him, dozens of screens lit up. Human tech, long thought destroyed. Space stealth bombers, deep learning AI networks hidden. EMP launchers, holographic field generators, all coming online. Dax looked up. Let the galaxy hear us again. Meanwhile, Prison Moon X-79 Aaron held the stone doctor Singh gave him. Every night he looked at it. Every night he wondered, should I press it? Then one night, he saw something in the sky. A flash. A falling star? No, too fast. Too straight. The beast beside his cage stood up. Its ears twitched. Aaron pressed the stone. The signal flew. Council panic on the galactic net. Strange things began to happen. Council files were deleted. Warship A is refused to obey commands. News stations showed old Earth War footage without anyone uploading it. In one video, human soldiers walked through fire. In another, human jets flew under alien radar. Each clip ended with the same message. You thought we were gone? You thought wrong? Deep inside alien space, a human ghost ship appears out of a dust cloud. Another Earth ship arrived, bigger, sleeker, dead silent. It floated into a council-controlled sector. No one knew how it got there. No one saw it coming, but one alien scout scanned it and froze. Sir, he said, it's not empty. What do you mean? The commander asked. The scout swallowed. There are no life signs, but the ship is talking. Talking. The screen turned on. A voice spoke. This is Echo 1. Earth remembers. Then the ship vanished into a warp gate without leaving a trace. Back in the council hall, they're taunting us. Chancellor Drovik shouted, shut down all old Earth tech. Now. But sir, another replied, we use Earth code in half our systems. Drovik slammed the table. Then replace it. A younger counselor spoke quietly. What if we can't? Number 1 had an answer. Final scene. A signal from Earth back at facility Eclipse Core. The human scientists watched as more drones reactivated across the galaxy. 7 units online, one said. Dax smiled. By next week, it'll be 70. A soft voice spoke from the computer system. It was calm, artificial, but somehow human. We warned them, it said. Now they will remember who we are. Gox nodded. And this is just the echo. This outpost was far from the core worlds. It wasn't important, just a refueling station. But that night, everything changed. A small group of guards sat in the control room, watching the stars. Suddenly, a shadow passed over the base. No alarm, no warning. Then dash boom, the main gate exploded inward. Out of the smoke came 10 human soldiers. Their armor was black. Their helmets glowed red. They moved like ghosts, silent, fast. Laser fire bounced off their armor. One by one, the guards fell. The last thing the base commander saw was a message on the wall, written in blood red. We do not kneel. Council and chaos on the galactic capital. Council members shouted over each other. They attacked a military base. No warning, no demands. Chancellor Drovik slammed his fist on the table. Send fleets. Burn their secret camps. Counselor Velna shook her head. They never had armies. Not like ours. Yet they still strike. Another whispered, how many of these ghost soldiers do they have? Nobody knew. Earth's secret base Black Station Commander Dax stood before a row of elite human soldiers. You did well, he said. Zaytanine was just the start. Right. Behind him, a screen showed new targets. Mining World Delta V Fuel Depot. On Moonyaker Databank, in orbit around Zolar Prime, this isn't revenge. He said this is a message. Every time we hit, they remember who we are. The soldiers saluted. Then they vanished into the shadows. Mining World Delta V. THE. Aliens. On Delta V worked without fear. No one had warned them. Then came the sound, a deep hum in the sky. One alien looked up. Is that thunder? No, it was a stealth bomber, human-made. Seconds later, mines exploded. Every guard tower collapsed. The human strike team left no survivors, only a signal tower. It played one phrase on repeat. You voted for chains. We return with fire. Fuel depot, Moon Yakura cargo ship, approached the depot. The station's AI scanned it. No weapons detected. The ship docked. 5 minutes later, the whole station lost power. Inside the cargo ship, a human stepped out. Her suit was wired into the station's power core. She smiled. You use our tech? That was your mistake. She walked away as the depot exploded behind her. Back in the council, fear spreads reports came in every hour. 13 outposts destroyed. 4 stations hijacked, hundreds of council troops missing. Counselor Velna stood before the chamber. These are not random attacks. These are surgical. Every strike cuts us deeper. Chancellor Drovik shouted, where is their fleet? Where are their bases? Quiet reply came from the back. They were building in the dark. We laughed. We let them grow. Drovik turned. Pale dot final reveal, Earth's hidden fleet, far beyond the edge of the Milky Way, in a system long thought dead. Hundreds of ships floated in silence. Human ships. Stealth-coded, weaponized, ready. In the command room, Dax looked out the window. We waited, we watched, and now we take the fight to them. A younger officer beside him asked, what if they beg for peace? Dax didn't answer. He just looked at Earth's flag on the wall. A voice came over the intercom. Targets locked, awaiting orders. Dax spoke only one word. Begin. Across the galaxy, people were watching. Aliens of all kinds, soldiers, workers, even slaves, stared in silence. The video showed human victories, not just explosions, but resistance. A single human child leading alien slaves to escape. A human woman hacking a council warship from inside a prison cell. Humans taming wild creatures no one could touch. The video ended with one phrase. You enslaved us. Now you fear us. The council emergency meeting Chancellor Drovik stood before. The other council members, shaking with anger, shut down the human networks. He shouted, erase their message. An AI replied coldly. Message is spreading too fast. Even private systems are showing it. They are controlling fear, whispered Counselor Velna. But not with guns, with ideas. Silence fell. Then someone asked, what if we lose control of the other species? Other alien races begin to question on the planet Graxel. Where insect-like beings lived under council rule, workers stopped moving. One asked, why are humans fighting? Another replied, because they want to live free. Can we do the same on mining moons and slave camps? Even in military outposts, the same question echoed. Why not us? Back on Earth, Underground HQ Commander Dax met with human leaders in a dark war room. Behind him, a massive screen showed chaos across council space. A scientist smiled. They wanted fear. Now they have it. Another added, they feared our weapons, but now they fear our spirit. Dax nodded. This is Phase 3, Fear Protocol. Alien generals breaking, point in a deep space base. Hey, General Varrock, of the Karkan Empire received a message. It wasn't a threat. It was a video. He watched as a human prisoner led an escape from his own camp. The prisoners carried nothing but tools. They disabled every system, freed 500 beings, and disappeared. No explosions, Burok said. No noise, just precision. He looked at his reflection. What kind of species are they? His second-in-command said. The kind that never gave up. Alien youth inspired. A young alien girl on a distant world watched the human broadcast in secret. Her mother entered and said, "Turn that off, it's dangerous," the girl whispered, "but they fight for their people. They fight for each other." Night. She painted a human symbol on her wall. She wasn't the only one. A virus in the Sistema. Quiet council worker noticed something strange in the central database. A soft melody played in the background of every system, slow, steady, familiar. Earth. Music, then messages started appearing in strange places. On warships, we remember. On prison gates, we are not broken. On council files, you are the virus. The AI running council systems tried to block it. But the message was already inside. The virus didn't destroy it, reminded. Back in council, fear of collapse. New problem arrived. Some soldiers refused to fight. Some council officers vanished. A few even joined the humans, Drovik shouted. "We are losing control," Velna replied. "You never had it. You only had silence." Now they've found their voice, someone whispered. What if Earth becomes a symbol, not a planet? Final scene. The broadcast across the stars, screens turned black. Then a human face appeared. Not angry, calm. Wise. It was an old woman, General Rana, once a prisoner, now a leader. She spoke softly. You feared our strength. But it was never our weapons. It was our will. Our memory. It's our love for freedom. You cannot break what refuses to bend. You wanted us to kneel. Now you kneel before your fear. She looked straight into the camera. This is not the end. This is your beginning of remembering what you did. It started with a whisper. Aaron had shared the signal. Dr. Singh had shared the code. The beast in the cage roared, not in anger, but in warning. Guards ran to silence the prisoners. They thought it would be easy. It went in single quotes. Aaron broke free using tools made from scraps. Other prisoners joined him. Humans. Yes, but also other species who had suffered. A giant insect worker threw a guard into a wall. A blind alien girl shut down the main gate with nothing but a stolen keycard. Within minutes, the prison was no longer a prison. It was a revolution broadcast. Spreads, rise now. Every prison world got the same message. It was short. 5 words. You are not alone. Rise. On Moon Kravix, a water world used for energy mining. The slaves rose with electric tools. On asteroid base Varn 7, a human engineer overloaded the power core and freed everyone in the skies of station. Vega 12 alien workers sang an old Earth freedom song in broken English. But full of heart, back on Council World, total panic. Chancellor Drovik could barely speak. They're rising everywhere, not just humans, everyone. His hand shook, his eyes were wide. They're not even using weapons. They're using hope. Counselor Velna turned to him. You gave them fear. Humans gave them courage, Drovik whispered. Then we must crush both. He ordered every ship to return to defend Council planets, but it was too late. Commander. Dax's orders Operation Breaker from a hidden command ship above a dead star. Commander Dax stood before his team. The chains are breaking, he said. Now, we strike where it hurts. He pointed to 3 main Council locations. The main slave trade hub on planet Elixir, the AI control tower on station. Null Zero, the Grand Archive on the Council homeworld. These are not just targets, he said. They are symbols. We don't just break systems, we break their pride. Planet Elixir, freedom by fire. Human and alien rebels landed using stolen ships. The sky burned. The Council guards were elite trained. Brutal, but the rebels had numbers, and one by one, the cages opened. Thousands ran free. Children cried. Families held each other. A tall alien looked at a human and said, "I never thought you cared." The human replied, "We care about freedom. For everyone." Station Nello. The Codebreakers, a small team of hackers, led by Dr. Singh, broke into the main AI tower. Every council system was linked here. They didn't destroy it, they rewrote it. Now the systems protected rebels. It's protected innocents. Now the chains of data served freedom. Singh smiled. They used our minds against us. Now we use our minds to free them. Grand Archive memory restored. A human historian named Liera reached the Grand Archive, where the council had hidden their crimes. Inside, she found records of Earth's enslavement, of broken promises, of experiments, torture, lies. She streamed everything to the galaxy. Billions watched, and something changed. The galaxy stopped seeing humans as dangerous apes. They started seeing them as the mirror of their own pain. Back at the council, collapse begins. Council members fled. Ships abandoned planets. Allies turned silent. Some races announced independence. Others signed peace with Earth. And in the heart of the once great council hall, a statue of human defeat was pulled down by many hands. Not just human. Final scene. Aaron and the Beast walk free on Moon X-79. The prison was quiet. No chains, no guards, only survivors and something new. Peace. Aaron walked with the Beast. Beside him, he looked up at the stars. Dr. Singh stood beside him. "You were just a boy," she said. "I'm still just a boy," he replied. "But now I know who I am." They turned and walked toward a ship, one of many heading for Earth. The sky darkened. Thousands looked up. Citizens, soldiers, leaders. A ship moved slowly across the sky. Massive, silent, black as night. It did not fire. It did not land. But every radar, every scanner, every mind knew. It was human, and then every screen blinked. The signal came. Message from Earth begins across the galaxy in every prison. Every planet, every home, one voice played. It was deep, calm, powerful. A human voice. "This is not revenge. This is memory. You laughed. You voted. You chained us. And now, you fear what you created." Images played across the stars. Humans in chains, humans rising, humans saving aliens, humans dying for others' freedom. Then the voice continued, "We are not your slaves. We are not your pets. We are not your enemy. We are your mirror. What you did to us, you did to yourselves." Across the galaxy, silence falls. Schools, children watched, in bunkers. Soldiers stopped loading weapons on battlefields. Aliens dropped their guns. Even council leaders froze in place. For the first time in galactic history, everyone listened. Council reaction. Division inside in the heart of the council chambers. Chaos broke out. Chancellor Dravik slammed his hand. On the table, shut it down. Block the message. Destroy the ship. But no one moved. Some guards took off their helmets. One counselor stood and said, "They speak truth." Another said, "Maybe we were wrong." Dravik shouted, "They're just humans," Velna whispered. "Not anymore. They're a force now." Inside the human command ship, Commander Dax stood before the main screen. General Rana sat beside him. "You think they heard us?" he asked. She smiled. "They didn't just hear us," she said. "They felt us." Behind them, scientists, soldiers, and diplomats watched the data. No attacks, no warnings, just stillness, across the stars. Change had begun. Planet Graxel. New beginning. A young alien girl stood on top of her house. She painted a human, symbol in red, not for war, for hope. Her people had always been silent, always afraid. Now they sang the song humans once sang in chains. We rise, we fight, we live. Her voice was soft, but others joined in. Council leaders began to surrender one by one. All leaders were removed. By their own people, some fled. Some begged for peace. Others simply vanished. A few sent messages to Earth. "We were wrong. We want peace. We want to learn. But Earth didn't answer right away. Final scene. Earth's reply day passed. Then another then. A new message came from a voice no one expected. It was a child, Aaron. He stood on a small stage with the beast. Behind him, he looked into the camera. He didn't shout. He simply said, "We don't want to rule you. We don't want to hurt you. We just want to be free. And if you can accept that, we will build something better, together." He paused, then added, "But if you ever try to chain us again, you won't fear humans. You'll fear what we awaken next. Galactic reaction, no fire. No war, just understanding and change. Worlds once ruled by fear now opened their doors. New leaders stepped forward, not from power, but from truth, and deep across the stars. The chains rusted, then broke. It had been weeks since Earth spoke. The message was clear. The galaxy did not burn. It shifted. Old leaders vanished. Slave systems collapsed. New banners rose, not with fire, but with freedom. And yet, fear remained, not from humans, from guilt, from memory, from the truth, hiding in the ruins. Dravik's last day, Chancellor Dravik, the man who once laughed at humanity, now hid underground. He had no soldiers left. He had no power. He only had regret. A small screen buzzed. It showed a news feed. Galactic Unity forms Earth. To join as equal partner. Dravik stared. They were meant to serve. He muttered. We were the council. Then came the knock again. He turned slowly. The door opened, and there stood one human, wearing no armor. Dome gun. Just a calm look. And a voice. We are not here to kill you, the human said. We just want you to see. Across the galaxy, fear breaks. Hope grows. On planets where humans were once beaten, they now walked free. On moons once called prisons, children now played. Aliens once too afraid to speak, now told stories. About humans who inspired them to stand. One insect-like rebel stood on a council tower and shouted, we feared them, but they feared nothing. Not pain, not death. Not us. Human legacy, not rulers, but reminders. Commander Dax stood at Earth's new galactic hall. Watching peaceful crowds gather, he turned to General Rana. It's over, he said. She shook her head. It's just begun, smiled. We won without destroying everything. She nodded. 'Cause we remembered what they forgot. Freedom doesn't need an army, just the refusal to kneel. One last broadcast, a warning. Promise Earth sent out one final message. It came not from warriors, but from a school. Children reading together. A small girl stood and read. Long ago, they laughed. Then they chained us. Now they look up at the stars, and they remember. The screen faded to black, then showed one simple phrase. Never again. Dravik's fate, the human who had come for Dravik, did not take revenge. He took Dravik outside, showed him a world no longer afraid. Children of all species played together, no chains, no fear. Why show me this? Dravik asked. The human said, so you understand what you tried to stop. Dravik cried, not because he was punished, but because he finally saw a final scene. Earth, at peace. Back on Earth, the sun rose over. The rebuilt cities, flags waved, not with power, but with unity. Aaron stood by the ocean, the great beast beside him. Dr. Singh sat nearby watching the waves. He asked her, do you think they'll ever try again? She smiled gently. Maybe, she said. But now, they know what we become when we're pushed too far. Aaron nodded, and next time, he said, they won't just fear us. They'll fear losing what we helped them become.